Hello. Games, board games. I might be talking about board games, but I'm not gonna shout. Today, as always, I start with a song. Today you can join me and chat along as I play a few turns of photosynthesis. I'm going to show off my typography, which hopefully will bring bliss. Once it's all finished, I'm looking forward to that time when it's all in my hands and I say, it's finally here and it's all mine and yours and it belongs to all the people who backed it also. Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good whatever it is, wherever you are. 10 a.m. ish UK time. And yeah, how are you doing today? I hope you are generally well. And I have been busy with not that, with this, the typography. This is not finished. There's more black and I think a tiny bit more yellow scribbles, maybe a touch of very small number of white dots, but I want to keep the kind of orangey, yellowy about it. And yeah, I'm looking forward to having this finally finished. Um, so yes, I'm going to then play a few rounds of photosynthesis. So let me show off my recent highlights, living life and seeing the sights. Recent highlights, playing games and other delights. Recent highlights. Actually, you know what? Yesterday I played two games that I consider are amongst the best games ever, and I'm looking around. Ah, here they are. These are two of my favorite games. I've talked about them before. Firstly, Go. Go is brilliant. I introduced my new friend Leah and my old friend Jess to Go, and I say old friend but I've known Jess for like 15 years, something like that, and I was like, "Hey, you don't know Go?" And then I played both of them on a 5x5, giving them a couple of extra stones, and then I played them on a 5x5, giving them one extra stone, and once they'd beat me, it's okay, good, you've dominated me, you've eliminated all my pieces, you understand how the game works. And I used a metaphor of breathing, like the stones have to breathe, and you're kind of surrounding them, and there's no space for them to breathe, so they have to go away because they're just totally cramped. And diagonal, it's all about the connections along the lines. You want at least one connection to some open space. And then we finally played a 7x7 game with having 3 extra stones, just kind of just watching on. And I won that by a small margin, and it's just joyful to play and show someone the game and take them on this journey. And that's what I love about Go, the fact that you can use extra stones to bring someone along on this journey with you. Then Doodles. Um, Doodles is all about sculpting things and making sure that it's identifiable, but ideally only if the person has like asked 4 questions and gotten to know 2 of the letters in the word. And some of them were a bit too easy. Some of them were a bit too hard. One of mine just wasn't going to be guessed. It was stairs and it looked more like a kind of wonky pyramid. But yeah, maybe it should have been slightly better stairs. But yeah, how well. I do think that I do wonder if there needs to be one more point for the sculpture maker because just to I know it's a party game, but I do wonder if there's a viable strategy of just making stuff that can literally never be chosen, and that feels a bit rubbish. But it's a really, really good game, and I think it's nigh on perfect. And this is, I believe, Klaus Teuber's best ever game. There, rest in peace. Doodles. Wonderful game. Everyone had fun. And also ate fish and chips. But the other thing that I did yesterday, the thing that gave me so much satisfaction is that I did a lot of typography. Let me get rid of this banner so you can see a bit more of the typography. Oh, obviously, this is just 16 of the letters, but I've done 18 of them. But I started off with all the things in black and white. So it was like boom, 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 boom. All of these things in black and white. I've done them. And now I'm happy with them. Now I'm going to color them. I'm going to start shading them in. I'm going to start off with a layer of green. Then I'm going to add some blue stripes. And then I'm going to add some purple. And then I'm going to add some wiggly bits. If you see those little wiggly bits, then I'm going to add some red to the face of it. Because you've got to have red, obviously. And then some pink to kind of, and then whilst the sides are kind of stripy, the faces are kind of dotty, and some yellow to bring, this is where I think it starts looking good. I'm quite happy with it. And then it starts getting, ooh, and then there's some more pink, and then there was some more bits. And finally, it looks, went from that, and there's still one step left, I should say. There's still going to be some black, but this is what it looks like currently. That's the G, that's the H, this is the B, C, and I'm really excited by this. I think that I like the fact that the shadow is really dark, but if you look carefully, it does have these little stripes that hopefully will, even if you see it subconsciously, it adds a bit of texture. And I want a messy background, like something where it's like, but that's going to be drawn separately. And I'm happy with the way that this is going, and like the black is going to eventually make it look a little bit more like the lower one. It's going to be more like this one, with a lot of black to be like pum in your face. And that is what I'm going to finish off today being Sunday. So yes, I'm feeling good about that. I'm feeling like this is a viable thing. I can finish this today. Yes, and pardon me. That is definitely my biggest recent highlight. Brilliant thing. What's a little thing which is brilliant? I'm going to say one brilliant thing is, I know this might sound weird, but having a bit of a almost production line, like when I managed to have all the letters out on the table, because my table's just about big enough to have 14 sheets of paper. Maybe I could have like 15 or 16 A5 sheets of paper on it, and so I was like doing and it kind of felt more energetic, more expressive. I was going through it while I was listening to some, what was I? I was listening to some old TV shows and some new TV shows, but just going through and getting all of these done in a sort of in this manner that made sure that all the letters were being treated exactly the same. So all the letters are going to turn out exactly the same because I've done them in this sort of, how can I put it, assembly manner, and that's why I'm managing to have consistency. And hopefully I'll continue with that. We'll see. I think it's doable. But first, I'm going to have a break with you. As always, feel free to comment, ask questions from like follow. And I am going to play some photosynthesis. So, as you can see, I am quite high in the rankings. There are 3 people who are elite mode on Arena, and elite ranking even on arena mode, and I am number 4. I would have to win 7 more games to get into this, but I don't think that's going to happen. I've currently got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 games going on, and one of them does look like I'm losing. I will do some commentary on all of these things, and we'll see what happens. So, Huh? Which other game? Okay, so let me crack on and get my face. There's my face, and here is this. Okay. Okay, looking at this, I am blue for some reason in this game. Turn round round 2 of 3, turn 4 of 6. So this is towards the end, it's going to go pum pum, and then it will go pum 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 pum. So there's 8 turns left out of 18. This is the turn 10 out of 18. And so at this point, I'm feeling like I want to be at the end of my production cycle. Let's see what happened last turn. I was getting more from photosynthesis from the other people. Everyone has 0. I feel like I'm in a strong position in this game. Is it worth growing this? It will grow there, and then maybe it might not be worth growing unless people take down some of their trees, but I think I've got to gamble on it. I think I do. And growing this will cost me 3, and then I've still got potentially 5, 6, 7, 8, plus 4 is 6. No, I don't. That would be 14. So I'm thinking in my head, okay, growing... Oh, I've already got a 1 in my bank for some reason, so I probably should do that. Unless I'm going to do that one. Now let's do this one. And now I've got 14, and that's exactly enough to grow a 2 to a 3 and a 1 to a 2. So in my... Oh, I did that wrongly. I should do a 2 to a 3 and then use that new 2 because that saves me 1 light. So I'm spending 5 to purchase that, and I'm thinking, which one of these 3 do I increase? This one blocks me, but it would block me anyway, and it could block the other person. Maybe I even take it off so that I can grow this. That would be very nice. This doesn't change anything. This one, 1, 2, 3, doesn't change anything. This one feels like the one that would be nice to grow up. And now I grab one for 1 light cheaper, and boom. Oh, I did that wrongly. Restart the turn. I do apologize. I should have... Whoops. Nope. I'm all aflutter. There. Boom, boom, boom. And that. And that is what I'm doing. And I'm thinking next turn, yeah, sure, I'm going to be blocking myself here, but hopefully as like just having 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is not enough to win the game. Ideally, I want to have like 6 things, like 2 big ones, 3 medium ones, and maybe 1 that I'm able to grow to give me some light towards the end of the game, just to get me over that last edge. And that is how I'm finishing this turn. And yes, that is that game. Now this one, I'm on 14 points. Hook Hunt is on 32, but I think I'm going to get some points this turn anyway. And I've been getting not as much light as Hook Hunt, so that's not great. So I'm not in a great position here. This is the one where I feel like maybe I'm not going to win. I am thinking this light is going left. There's only 4 turns left, and I've been lucky to be able to grow the central bit. That's a guaranteed 22 points, but I could also grab it, on the turn 5 potentially, because no one else is going to be big enough to block me in turn 5. I could grab it in like next turn, or whereas both of these feel like they could be helpful. I am going to, well, I'm going to use 12 of this light to turn to earn a 3 into points, and then turn a 2 into a 3. And this is not a great one to pick because it's going to be in shadow. This is not going to do anything. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. But then this would not be in shadow the following turn. So maybe I do actually ascend this one, just because we're still in competition for who gets the ones from the perimeter first. So I'm going to go bloom, grab it back, bloom, and grab that back, and bloom. And my trees all bloom majestically, and I still don't quite have as many points as the blue player, but I've got 2 threes, they've got 2 threes, I've got 2 twos, I've got 2 twos, I've got 1 more 2 compared to their 1. So I'm marginally ahead on the board, but next turn they're going to be blocking me twice. Like, they are just in a better position. I don't feel like I'm in a good position at all. I'm only going to get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 points next turn. That's really not great. And so, yeah. And, this game, yeah. But that's the best I can do. Let's look at this one. Okay, so this is round 1. This is just the end of turn 6 out of 18. And so it's a third of the way through the game. Here, I'm feeling really confident. This is a really good game for me. I mean, look how much they're blocking themselves. And then next turn, they're going to be blocking themselves again. What I want to do is stop blocking myself. So if I raised this to a 2, and then I raised it to a 3 the following turn, then the next turn, I would not be blocking myself, because I'm currently thinking, hey, well, that's just for the very long term. And, oh no, I don't have enough light to do both. So maybe I just do this, which is kind of for the more medium long term. And then if I do that, next turn, green grows, so green could not grow anything into a 3, because I know they've got 6 light, and they don't have a big access, so it costs 7 light, so boom, they can't make that into a 3, so I'll have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 light, which is enough to turn this one into a 3. So that is what I will keep doing, because then on my next turn, I will get 3 more light than if I hadn't done anything here. So I'm feeling relatively good about that. And so, yeah, of course, if blue chooses to grow this into a 2, then I could counter that by growing this into a 3. So I'm kind of giving up that opportunity, but at least this is me doing something that doesn't rely too much on them. And on the next turn, I'll still be getting some stuff. So I am good with that. And then, do I finally play this one? Yes. Okay, so here, this is turn 6 of 6. Yeah, this is the no-brainer. Turn 6 of 6, if you don't know what you're doing, then you basically don't know the rules of photosynthesis. There's no reason to do anything other than turn trees into light, and I've got 97 points to 28 to 73. And this is another player that, like I mentioned a wee bit ago, and this seems to be basically the end of the game. And 97 to 28 to 74. That's like a respectable thing, but again, I'm only gaining 1 marker, so I would have to win 6 times, and then if I lose once, then I lose like 3 markers, so it's hard getting to elite. I feel like with 3 players, I'm probably just going to, how can I put this? I'm probably just going to retire after the current things. So All of my games are done, but that was a nice little thing. Playing for a few turns, and that is a very quick show. I hope you're generally well. And now I'm going to crack on and finish off this. I am not doing a live drawing today, but what I will do is I promise that tomorrow I will be back with a marginally, more talky topic, and lots of love to you all. At this point, I'm going to ask the question of the day. Question of the day. Here's a little question before we go on our way. My question of the day. Do you have oak trees near where you live? I mean, there's quite a few oak trees in the UK. And yeah, are there oak trees near where you live? I'm slightly curious. So, that's my question. Actually, where's your closest park? Yeah, I've got a park very close. I'm very lucky. It's about 7 minutes away. And then, it depends how quickly you walk, but I can get there in maybe 8 minutes and then go down and like Hume and cross a bridge and cross a road and you're into the park. And then there's suddenly a lovely rose garden and river. And if you walk for another 20 minutes, there's some ducks and it's all wonderful. But are you near a duck? Do you have the luck of being near a duck? I hope that you do, because it's such a wonderful thing. Over to you, what are you up to? You can share button if you want to. As I mentioned, I am going to be finishing all of my lettering off, and then that's basically all I'm doing today, and also doing some art, hopefully for a couple of totally brand new games. But Categorical, once that's done, that will be like, my gosh, now finally it is done. Now finally I can send this to the Kickstarter backers. Recap and wrap up before we finish up. So if you want to, is there so I guess today I talked about my process of drawing, where I start with the white and black lines, and then I add a bit of green, then blue, then stripes, then purple, and then wiggly bits, and then red and red dots, and yellow and pink, and I'm going to add some black as well. Just a tiny bit of black. Share, spread the word. I'm generally winning Photosynthesis, except one of the games I think I might probably lose, and that's going to prevent me from going to lose. So, and thank you very much, everyone. Lots of love. I'm stuffed by bed in all of the places, and not much else to say. Oops, that's except for bye, 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 bye. This is a goodbye song. Blue, 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 bye, 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 bye. Thank you for watching long. Bye, 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 bye. This is the end of the show. Bye, 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 bye. Now it's time to go. Bye, 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 bye. This is a goodbye song. Bye, 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 bye. Thank you for watching long. Bye, 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 bye. This is the end of the show. Bye, 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 bye. And now it's time to go. Bye, bye, everyone. Bye, 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 bye.